A very good morning to our viewers all across the world. Welcome to your Poetic Interlude on the Weekend Show. And today I'm going to be live from the US, Colorado, with a fictional writer, Christoper Bond. Christoper, good morning.
Hey, Emeka, how are you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. Good morning,
Hey,
Christoper.
good morning, Emeka.
All right. So you're going to be telling us about your novel, The Devil Came Down the Mountain. So can you give us a synopsis of your novel?
Yeah, absolutely. The Devil Came Down the Mountain is a horror novella. It takes place in the mountains of Utah at an area known as the Murmuring Caves, where in the 1800s there was a mass disappearance of over 100 transcontinental railway workers. So the story follows four friends who want to go on a camping trip and explore the Murmuring Caves, and I guess you can say things do not go well for them.
Okay, so can you tell me some of the themes of your novel? What made you use the Murmuring Caves? Is it some of your past experiences, or what gave you the inspiration to talk about the Murmuring Caves?
Well, the Murmuring Caves, I was doing some research and watching documentaries about the way that the western area of the United States was developed um, at the beginning of the country back in the 1800s. And when they were building the railway, they used a lot of Chinese immigrants. Over 15,000 Chinese immigrants worked on the railway. And in the end, over 1,500 died while building the railway. Um, Over 1,000 of them had their bones shipped back to China in boxes because it was such a dangerous thing. So um, part of the genesis for the story was thinking about how many of those workers were undocumented, how many of those deaths happened without anybody finding out about them, without their families finding out that they were lost. So part of that was the fascination with mass disappearances, and then also caves are just scary. Claustrophobia, it's dark. You never know what's lurking down there, so that's always been one of my fears as
All
well.
right,
So I kind of just
but
married
you
those.
like writing horror, like horror fiction. You like writing horror. So can you tell me what really makes you write horror? I know you didn't have a troubled childhood, but what comes to your dark imagination? What makes you write horror?
um, Out of all things, horror is one of the genres that I guess attracts me the most because it makes you feel makes you feel a lot of things. It makes you feel like fear is a very visceral feeling. I think other than love, it's the strongest feeling that you can feel. And I'm not really much of a romance writer, so I've always been attracted towards the darker side of things. It
Oh,
always gives me the thrill when I'm reading or watching a scary movie.
horror novel. Okay. Please, where can we get your novels if we want to get your novels? Where can
Um,
Nigerians get your novels? And can you drop us your social media handles also, in case they want to
yes,
reach you?
absolutely. The Devil Came Down the Mountain is available on
Okay.
Amazon.com
Okay.
as well as through my publisher, Horror Smith Publishing.
Okay.
Um, and I'm on X and on Facebook. If you just look up Christoper Bond, author, you should be able to find me.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris, for coming on the program. I do
Thank you,
appreciate your
Emeka.
voice. All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Now we're gonna transit now to the sports segment of the weekend show.